gentlemen, without any further ado, the mayor of the city of Norco, Mr. Ted Hoffman.
Wow, what a room. You know, I packed you good. I know you came for the free food and everything else, but thank you very much. Excited. I hope I don't screw this up. Okay? Can you hear me all right out there? I'm going to check this mic so I don't feedback and blow you all out. All right, a little louder. We're good? Okay, you can't hear me back there in the bleacher seats? Oh! All right. Yeah, you got it? All right. Better? I'll talk louder. All right. I want to thank you all for showing up tonight. I know it's opening baseball night, and I'm glad you're here, okay? All right. Again, it's an honor to be here tonight to deliver the State of the City of Address as your mayor. Before I go any further, I want to introduce all my colleagues. And you already met Mayor Pro Tem Robin Grunmeyer, who delivered such a gracious introduction of the council and everything in the city. And I hope I could live up to your introduction. As well as council members Berwin Hanna, down back there. Kevin Bass, Kevin, and Greg Gooden. Greg, thank you. As well, Greg, who finished up in December. I'm trying to follow your shoes, brother. I just want to do it. You did a good job of leadership, and I hope to carry on for that. So, pass the baton on to me, and I feel honored to serve with each of these fine individuals. I also want to recognize our city manager, Andy Macoro. There he is. All right, and his team of excellent directors, who are a very valuable resource to the city council. They helped put this on. Okay, this wasn't us, they did this. So again, thank you for their staff for doing that. I hope you spent some time during your reception hour to view the exhibits on the patio, where some beautiful art and photography illustrate the city of Norco's tradition of vision. Not only do we, as a community, envision bold ideas, but we actually execute them, often in spite of long odds. The images on display, showing both the original concepts and completed execution of signature projects, represent our community's vision. First, there is the historic Lake Draconian Club, a landmark that represents our greatest traditions and our very first vision in the future. Then there is the George Ingalls Equestrian Event Center and the George Ingalls Veterans Memorial Plaza next door. I spent a lot of time up there. I'm one of the volunteers that does the tractor work up there, along with my good friend Ed, and both these projects are very dear to me. The 6th Street Gateway sign reminds visitors they have arrived in 6th Street. They have arrived on 6th Street, and the heart and soul of a very special city. And the Disney Circle D Ranch does much more than connect Norco to Mickey and Minnie. It connects us to the entire world. Finally, the new Norco Village Shopping Center is our most recent addition of vision, here demonstrating Norco's commercial energy and excitement that's coming up. There's one other visionary project we're highlighting tonight, and we don't need photos because we're standing in it, and that's Silver Lakes. It has quickly become part of Norco's lifestyle and economy. And I want to thank R.J. Brandis and his team for graciously hosting us tonight at their new Fieldhouse restaurant. Give them applause, please. Thank you. If you haven't come by for dinner yet, make sure you do, because the food and service are great. All these projects support Norco's legacy of foresight, and we're discussing them tonight, and the city's consistent spirit of vision throughout the evening. And a thank you to Silver Lake sponsorship for this event and the grand opening of the Fieldhouse. That's next week. I'd like to present a little housewarming. Where's RJ? Is he hiding back there? Is he still parking the car? Come here, RJ. You can't be in Norco unless you have a set of boot scraper at your legs, right? If you're an Norco resident, you know what you got to have. So RJ, hopefully find a good place for a boot scraper, so when you have your equestrian shows out here and the soccer people that bring dirt, clean their feet before they come into the field house.
the only thing I missed.
Thank you very much. I want to take this opportunity to thank our sponsors, which Mayor Pro Tem Grunmeyer highlighted earlier: Waste Management, West Riverside Council of Governments, the Lewis Group, and along with Wildan and the Micro Baker International. I have two very special guests tonight. The first is Arlen. Come on up here, Arlen. I just met Arlen earlier this month, and it was actually a nice occasion. If you've been to Pikes Peak Park and saw the new garden up there, the healing garden, it's done in honor of his wife. This man's wife died in December 2015 in a terrorist attack, and they promised they were going to take and move their family to Horstown, USA. He has done that. In 2016, he became a member of our community. His wife's legacy will live on in that park. This is the kind of people we want in Norco, to share this and show the respect and all the heart. And you're going to make me cry, everybody. So I hope that you'll go up to High Street, see the garden, and once you sit up there, when it's all done, you realize the history of Annetta and what she continually gives to us, along with her daughter there. And we welcome you guys to Norco, and I appreciate it. All right, Arlen, for that, this is a picture of the garden as it's done here. So, Arlen, thank you very much. So welcome to Norco. And my next guest is Jeff Anderson. And I'm not going to make Jeff stand up because Jeff, we are, as a community, for those who don't know who Jeff Anderson is, you certainly know who Rebuilding Warriors is. Jeff, a fellow veteran, retired member of the Riverside County Sheriff's Department. He's done a lot for all of us. This man, not only that, but he's got a doctorate in philosophy and of teaching martial arts. He's a fantastic man. He chose Norco to live in. And he offers those dogs to veterans that have PTSD, have injured, and now I just heard he's given to families for terrorist attacks. This is what Norco is about, giving. And Jeff, my brother, I had a long speech, but I don't. This man, and I'll tell you, in January, he just found out he has pancreatitis. 10% chance of living. Okay? He got a blood infection, lost half his foot. He still makes it today. It's a character about Jeff. This is the rendition of the memorial. We want to present to Jeff because he's all part of Rebuilding Warriors. People like Jeff and Arlen is what makes Norco. All right. I'm excited to share the state of the city with you tonight and map out our plans together to build our future. And if you got to go home and write your essay, you better do it. All right. Our tradition and vision started back in 1927, where Rex Clark picked this place to create his vision of a community where anybody with a work ethic and half an acre could enjoy a good life. At the time, Norco wasn't even a tiny dot on the map. But Clark built a world-class resort here, a hotel that will be served good food, grown in Norco, and feature products handmade by craftsmen living in town. Rex Clark was a true visionary. But Norco didn't stop being visionary in 1929 when the market crashed and the resort had to shut down. After sitting empty for a while, the hotel became visionary center of medicine, where heroes injured in battles, initially in Pearl Harbor, then faraway places like Midway and Guadalcanal were treated by the nation's finest physicians. It became the Navy Hospital. After the hospital closed in the 60s, the Norconian continued to be a place of vision as we found ourselves in a different kind of war. One in which advanced missile systems could only win battles but keep peace. Many of the sophisticated weapon systems aboard U.S. Navy fleet, I'm talking about aircraft carriers, cruisers, submarines, deployed all over the world, were developed here in Norco. Right next to the lake where Bob Hope and Clark Gable used to water ski. The research continues, and Norco is proud to be a Navy town. Tony, thank you very much, a Navy town. We have dreams for the Norconian hotel property, the very place where a city of vision began. Someday that original hotel building may be restored to its original grandeur. I'm hoping so. Welcoming new guests to Norco. If I'm still around, I'll check in, and the wife and I will have a good time. All right, Linda? All right. Here's some exciting news. Last month, the State Historical Resource Commission voted unanimously to recommend the property be listed on the National Register of Historic Places. A tremendous victory. For the many people in our community who have fought so hard for it. We look forward to working with our friends at the Navy base so we can both accomplish both goals. We're not there to stop the Navy from doing their goals. We want their goals to continue. We want them to continue protecting us along with serving our servicemen to make their equipment better. I want to congratulate the Norconian Club Foundation, the Historic Preservation Commission, the Cultural Resource, and I saw Bill Wilkins standing over here somewhere. Thank you, Bill. And the council member, Kevin Bash, for their many years of hard work and persistence to get this accomplished. Give yourselves a round of applause. As I mentioned earlier, I spent a lot of time volunteering at George Ingalls Equestrian Center. When it was first opened in 1976 as George Ingalls Park, it's now becoming one of America's premier equestrian venues. Over the years, I've seen it change dramatically through the hard work of Deputy City Manager Brian Petrie and Recreation and Community Service Supervisor Patty Ireland. I know I saw him out there. Where are you guys at? You're hiding? Hi. There's Brian back there. Patty's up here. Thank you. And there's a whole team that goes along with that do that. Guys, the nuts and bolts guys that help. And I saw Hank hiding back there too. The facility has become consistently booked. Not just by equestrian events and professional rodeos, but dog shows, film shoots, and mini conferences. It also hosts national events like the Brew and Q and the World Series of Team Roping that are so beneficial to the city of Norco. They bring a lot of tourists, a lot of people in our town. I want to acknowledge the vision of the late Hal Clark, who spearheaded the construction of the first covered arena in 2001. He got tired of getting rained out during Horse Week. There was no fun to bulldog and end up in that big puddle of mud and water in the middle of that. The vision of Ingalls continues to grow. What started out as a community park has evolved into a world-class event center, and the vision continues. An increasing number of bookings and multi-events, so visitors are staying in our local hotels and at our restaurants, and filling up our local gas stations. We love their gas tanks. Besides the Up at Ingalls, I currently chair the Veterans Memorial Executive Committee. So I have a pretty good idea of how inspirational and yes, visionary the George Ingalls Memorial Plaza is. When the committee first came up with the plans for the Memorial Plaza, a lot of people said things like, that sounds great, but we don't have to be more realistic. Something like, a town our size can't afford this, and we should think more modestly. They wanted to put a rock and a flagpole up there and say, good. That committee said, no. And look at it today. You saw pictures. Fortunately, didn't listen to those people. And when we found a way to make vision happen, even if it was to ask or beg people into dedicating materials and labor, and they did. Actually, when business people saw there was an opportunity to honor war heroes, veterans, the typical response was, tell me what you need and I'll get it done for you. Ultimately, we received donated materials and labor valued at over $2 million. We did good. Visitors from out of town are overwhelmed by the magnitude of the Veterans Memorial Plaza, something they would expect from a city 10 times the size of Norco. The George A. Ingalls Veterans Memorial Plaza was unveiled on Veterans Day 2014, an incredible gift to the city of Norco on the occasion of its 50th birthday. If you were there for the dedication, I know it was a moment you'll never forget. How many were there? Thank you. Thank you. And now the vision continues. With an upcoming blue and gold star, Blue Star Mom right in front of me, our Mother's Pavilion, and a POW MIA monument that's going to be added to the plaza. The POW MIA monument will be done and unveiled on Veterans Day, on Memorial Day. So please take the opportunity to come visit us. In Norco, we never settle for just adequate. We never accept that we're a small town with limitations. No, Norco is always pushing for more, and that is why that is our vision. It's kind of ironic that a place so committed to old-fashioned values is one of the most visionary and forward-thinking communities in California. You don't have to be progressive to be a visionary. We are a visionary city. The memorial is a product of the city's strong spirit of patriotism and commitment to America's military, which can be seen in the red, white, and blue striping on 6th Street, the service banners, and by the way, they're still available, so you can buy another one, as well as our new illuminated USA sign.
You can see it right there.
Here it is. A little history on that sign. Ray Dees was a member of our Veterans Committee, original member. He has passed away, but it was his vision to make sure that sign was erected. His company helped pay for that sign, and through a lot of donations from various people, that sign is now lit up there, red, white, and blue, saying USA. On that note, today is actually National Vietnam War Veterans Day. How many of my Vietnam veterans are here today? As a Vietnam era war veteran, welcome home, brother. Welcome home. This is a good time to ask, and I'll do this. If you can't stand, that's fine. I know it's warm. But this is like church. You got to get up and down so you can get political. Where are all my veterans at? Stand up. All my veterans. You can't have veterans without having families. Where are my blue and gold star moms? So my blue star moms. Where are you at? Hopefully, you don't have any gold star moms in here. But as a nation, if you don't know what a gold star mom is someone who is given the ultimate sacrifice. Their son or daughter for our country. They've been here, and so I'm just going to ask you to do a round of applause for those that have lost people here, family members of the lost, cousins, relatives. So please, let's give those a The Eagles Event Center and Veterans Memorial host a variety of community events, and part of the city's recreational infrastructure that includes 100 plus miles of horse trails, 15 parks, 800 acres of open space. As a small city, we are proud to have that huge amount of open space, because that's what we live for, open space. We also have a comprehensive trail master plan and an official urban forest specifications that enhance these resources. They were just passed by the City Council recently, and I want to thank my fellow City Council members for now putting this down in writing so we can have it. They're living documents, and it will help preserve what we have. The Eagles Center is also part of an impressive portfolio of recreational resources of our city that also include the top-notch facilities at our Corona Norco Unified School District schools that are in Norco, along with Norco High. their brand new football field in their class act. Haven't been over there. So thank you, John. The portfolio now includes Silver Lakes. You're in it. Soccer fields. One of the reasons we're here tonight is because this facility that celebrates youth and encourages young athletes to reach their full potential. Norco, long before RJ even dreamed of Silver Lakes, has always been a city that has not only celebrates young people, but also turns these young people into champions. We have a lot of our students and athletes that have gone on to play nationally softball, football, any other sport, baseball. They are playing it, continue to play it, and they started here in Norco. They're top notch as far as that goes. Silver Lakes is not only strictly about sports, but also hosts culture events and concerts as well. And even an athletic program that's far beyond winning and losing. And this just happened. I want to hats off to RJ Brandis and his people. They provided medical screening for sudden cardiac arrest in youth recently. And that is, they've taken that upon themselves to make sure that we don't use blues or win that. On the subject of community events, the Economic Development Advisory Council proposed an electronic sign in 2016. It was viewed as a way to promote community events and businesses that serve Norco. Well, it's become more than that. The sign was a precursor to the energy that will be coming to the 6th Street. It announces to motorists that they arrived at an authentic Western-themed district. Not a series of fake facades on 6th Street, but an authentic, equestrian-oriented streets. We will always have our trails on both sides of 6th Street. We will continue with that. We will still have tie-ups along 6th Street for people to ride their horses to businesses. That's what we are. Things are beginning to happen on 6th Street, as you well know. In addition to the Country Center, which houses Boot Barn, Thrifty Horse, the Water Wheel, and the Rodeo Burger, more recent developments include Dr. Wong's innovative Southern California Equestrian Hospital. That place is first class. If you haven't been in it, at least take a tour. You're taking your horse there, you know the experienced staff and what they have done. Okay. We appreciate what Dr. Wong's investment into this town. There's more activity on 6th Street coming, so you stay tuned and see what happens. And I know I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag. It's exciting. Your city council has done some zoning changes in there to make this happen. And that's what we want to do. We need to make it happen and not let it stay. So that's what we're doing. We have recognized the value of tourism in Norco. A clean, sustainable industry that generates tax revenue for Norco residents. Our hotels are full, and with all the visitors of Silver Lake and Eagle Center, we can fill several more. They are booked, and that's a good thing. Although it's not open to the public, the Walt Disney Company Circle D Ranch establishes a connection between Norco and the world's largest tourism entertainment company, which also happens to be an organization built on vision. Let me tell you, built on vision. When my family first came here in 1957, a Dutch family, here's what they do. As immigrants come, my dad was a son of an immigrant, Dutchman. They stay together in those communities. Comes here, or Darion Archibald. Comes up, meets the Dutch people. Louis Vandermolen from Vandermolen, North. Meets the DeRuyter's. DeRuyter's Egg Ranch. Okay? So now DeRuyter's Egg Ranch, after Newcastle wiped it all out, turned it into Christmas tree farm. And look what it is today. It's Circle D Ranch. Beautiful 5 acres, Circle D Ranch. So it's amazing how what you learn as a child and things you see as a young person growing up in town, and you see that things changes. Visionary. So the new addition to our community supports many local events, such as Horse Week, Norco Fair, the Norco Horse Affair, and the city's annual Christmas Parade of Lights. Although it's not in a commercial district, Circle D's Ranch, Red Barn with the signature letter D, on its gates has become an instantly recognizable landmark in Norco. Circle D heavily participates in those activities that I listed, and we're proud to have them as our partners. The Disney blogs and websites regularly feature Circle D Ranch. So guess what? We're being exposed all the time. And its celebrity four-legged residents and the ranch president is a reminder that Norco is on the international stage. It's kind of cool. Councilman Newton the other night said, hey, it's great. You can have the Disney horses all walking or parading up and down on the streets. And he enjoys it. Speaking of the world, last year, based on recommendations from the Economic Development Advisory Council, Mayor Newton wrote a letter to the Los Angeles Olympic Committee supporting the selection of Los Angeles as a site of the 2024 Olympic Games. Of course, LA wasn't selected for 2024, but they were selected for 2028 Olympic Games. So that's what I did. This week, I challenged the Economic Development Advisory Committee, and I'm going to challenge the rest of the Norco community to start making arrangements for 2028. With the Ingalls Center, Silver Lakes, and this city, we would be a great training, practice site for equestrian athletes, as well as soccer and other field sports. Don't say it can't happen. You got to be visionary, okay? We would make a fantastic place for world athletes to come and enjoy a little authentic cowboy barbecue, some country western music, and Norco should be an Olympic tourist town, an attraction. We can bust them out there, okay? Let me tell you where Norco has had a little history with Olympics. Who were here in 1984? What ran through Hamner Avenue, right down the street? The torch. I was there. I stood at Detroit and Hamner, was doing traffic control. It was exciting. The Olympic torch came to Norco. That same time, that same Olympic thing, when it was held in 1984, just before that, my wife and I came back. It was kind of fun. We were coming back from the Caribbean. And guess who was on our plane? The Jamaican track team. We had a lot of fun. Yama, they were good. My brother called me up and said, hey, what are you doing? And this was the next week. I don't know. He goes, come on up to LA. Guess what they were doing at the LA Equestrian Center? They had a rodeo. They're in the LA Equestrian Center during the '84 Olympics. Guess what was in the stands? A lot of people from all different parts of the world. So it can happen. If you've ever been to Paris and see what Walt Disney features at their site over there, they love cowboys. They love rodeo. They love that Western Wild West show. So don't say it can't happen here. My challenge to all of you, my challenge to the EDAC committee, we can make it happen. Got 10 years to make it happen, okay? The discussion of vision and visionary projects must include Silver Lakes. Where we're doing it? Hey, we're enjoying this tonight. Some of you have never been here. How many have never been here before? Great. RJ, I did my job. I brought people to this. People ask me, why are we holding it here? Not in another Weaver Hall or somewhere else? Because this place is here. I want you to enjoy what over 500,000 people have been enjoying over the last couple of years, coming to Silver Lakes. This place, the building here was opened in December. They're going to have their grand opening on April 12th. So I want you to continue to come. This exciting part of Norco now. We're in Norco. We're not in Eastvale, so I can't. We're here in Norco. And this place belongs to all of you. And I want you to enjoy it. For decades, we had 122 acres of long neglected, deed restricted property north of the Santa Ana River. just waiting to be put to good use. But with the requirement that we use strictly for recreation, economical viable opportunities were scarce. Because the city was hardly in a position to develop, maintain such a massive parcel, our options were very limited. I remember fishing in the lakes, the Silver Lakes. The little 4 lakes. My brother and I, we caught our first fish there. Woohoo! Went to school with the Andersons who lived at the house here. It's all gone now. Worked across the street for 10 years at Excelsior Farm. I've spread manure on this property when it was a ranch. So I watched the tumbleweeds, and I watched just like you, and I watched what can this property be? And the solution required vision, which arrived in the form of a public-private partnership with Silver Lakes. A long-term land lease that ensures a steady stream of revenue to Norco, but also the city to retain legal control over the property. Regardless of any past controversies, we all need to review Silver Lakes for what it is today, a world-class sports venue that everybody in Norco can be proud of. The facility hosts regularly some of the best athletes from around the country. If you were here earlier this month, you saw UCLA play at Seattle Reign, a nationally ranked college soccer team. There are teams from all over the world playing here. It's exciting. Players, coaches, and scouts, and even musicians from Europe, Asia, Africa, Latin America, and Australia. Everybody comes here, praises Norco for its vision and innovation, not to mention our signature Horse-Town hospitality. Last year, and Roger's going to get mad at me because I'm going off script. Last year, attended the International Conference of Shopping Centers. We absolutely showcase Silver Lakes. You cannot believe the number of people that came to our booth from cities, counties, states, from the East Coast to the West Coast, from north to south. How did you guys do that? And even today, Mr. Brandis was saying, people all the time asking, how did you make this private-public partnership work? We're doing it. We're proud of it. And you as local residents, give yourself a hand because you're proud of it too. For years, Sam DeGrife used to own the dairy on River Road, like my mom and dad before him. Tried to develop his 15 acres at the corner of River Road and Cordon. He looked at senior housing, he looked at commercial, he looked at medical office, and there were no takers. For a long time, that property sat vacant, especially during the recession. At one point, he even wanted to go to the city of Corona. I'm glad he didn't. He wanted to turn it into homes. But Sam stuck with it, and so did the city staff and commissions, who eventually teamed him up with the Lewis Group, one of our sponsors tonight. So anybody from Lewis here tonight? Now, if you never saw Randall, you wouldn't recognize him anywhere. He's just so quiet and humble. But Randall Lewis, along with Sam, had vision. The result of that partnership is the Norco Village Shopping Center, a collection of vibrant shops that include a new flagship 50,000 square foot Stater Brothers grocery store. Have you guys been in that grocery store?
Yeah.
Is it nice? It's big. I get lost. I need a map. It's got Wawa Grill, Starbucks, Miguel Jr.'s, El Pollo Loco, a soon-to-be-open CVS pharmacy, and a whole lot of others. We did some grand openings up there. We can shop on it. Pretty exciting. The site is now generating sales tax revenue for our city. And Lewis, not only that, but he stuck with his word and he made it into some red architecture to keep it in Norco's theme. As you can see, and I'm sorry we had some wind, so not all the exhibits were up there. But that's what our vision is. Norco continues to build for its future. Shaped by persistence and dedication to empowering its residents, Norco is a city of vision. So where are we headed? I have to get down to it's bad stuff. The state of the city address should make you proud of where you live, and I hope I did, because that's who we are. But it also should include some hard truths to inspire you to get involved and act. Over the past few months, we've been discussing district representation on the city council. And although the city is almost 100% unified in its opposition to it, there's still plenty of possibility we may ultimately have to convert to a district system. It's unfair because no group in Norco is disenfranchised politically or socially. It's unfair because we are too small a city to warrant a district system. It's unfair because we're being subjected to this not because of any complaints from Norco residents by an opportunist who insist on implementing Sacramento's foolish philosophy of one size fits all, who insist on implementing Sacramento's foolishly laws on us. It just doesn't work when you're dealing with a unique community like Norco. Our neighboring city of Corona, and they have 5 districts. Their districts are separated by about 35,000 people in each district. We only got that many in our town. So, yes, the entire process is absolutely unfair. But even if we are split up in districts, it won't be the end to Norco as we know it. District representation will not reduce the level of service or responsiveness that Norco residents have learned to expect from their council members. And I can guarantee you, as a mayor and council member, along with my fellow council members, we'll still give you that service. We're not going to care where you live. You call us. No matter what, there will always be 5 council members that care about every single resident in Norco, regardless of the district they live in, because that's what we do here in Norco. We're concerned about every one of you. You have my pledge that every one of the city council, that even if this district voting is imposed on us, each and every one of you will always have 5 dedicated council members you can reach out to. Nobody on this council, and I'm going to speak for all of them, but nobody on this current council will never turn their back on any Norco resident just because they live in a district different district where your address is different. The fight is not over. We're going to take this up again in April and May, but you should take heart that the Norco City Council stands with you. You live in a place where government delivers for you. We are here for you. We need to have your support. We need you to listen to what we have to say. Okay, guess what I got to talk about? The elephant in the room. We have talked for years about how our special lifestyle we enjoy doesn't come cheap. Our extensive parks, horse trails, and public facilities that make Norco so unique and provide its residents with such a tremendous quality of life requires significant new revenues to maintain and update them. They are only sustainable if we invest in them. Maintaining these facilities requires substantial increases. We will need more than $5 million annually for the next 20 years to adequately maintain and replace our infrastructure, our parks, public buildings, streets, and trail system. The number has increased from the $4.4 million annually when the ad hoc committee on infrastructure studies were done in 2015, and the new figure doesn't even factor in revenues required to pay for rapidly increasing costs of public safety. We have incredible volunteers and nonprofits like Rule and the Norco Horsemen Association that continually chip in both money and labor for the trails. But we know that substantial public funds are still required. When it comes to streets, the funds received from the new gas tax and Prop A are not even close to meeting the city's needs. In addition, the money that comes from the state has plenty of unnecessary regulations attached to it. I know we say this every year at this time, but this year, we really mean it. We need... Friend Berwin sits back there and he told me, he said, well, after Greg gets done with his term and you get yours, yeah, you'll still have a little money left in your term. But when I turn it over to Robin next year, sorry, you have nothing. We need to find ways to improve and fund our improvements to our infrastructure. Or the day will come, and believe me, it will come, sooner rather than later, that we are no longer able to enjoy these amenities. This is a call to action. I'm not going to dance around the issue. I won't do it. We need to generate new funds, or we will not be able to sustain our lifestyle, and Norco will cease to be the kind of place it is today. Securing our future will take some really tough decisions, including the assistance of voters, approving a new revenue measure on the November ballot. Nobody likes taxes, but I'm telling you tonight that our lifestyle may depend on it. Through the district election debate, revenue measure discussions, and other urgent matters, the City of Norco, both elected officials and staff, remain accessible and are ultimately here for you, the residents. Feel free to contact any of us. Contact City Manager or Nicole. They've got the truth. As a city, we're here for your strong commitment to public safety, which is one of the main reasons families are attracted to our community. It's another reason people pay premium for real estate here. A friend of mine, Jerry Lundy, told me one time, he said, yeah, road's bad. I can live with that. Yeah, we got some broken trail fences out here. Yeah, I can live with that. He says, the one thing that I can't live with is if my property values go down. And they continually going up. So for him, something's working right. That's why he moved here. We have good property values. Now we just have to continue to pay for them. For most of you know, I worked at the Sheriff's Department for 26 years. I know a little bit about public safety. I know that people who choose law enforcement do it as a career, out of selfless sense of commitment. And that's so true. The men and women who wear the green and tan, the service. It's not for the money. It's hard work. They think nothing of putting themselves in harm's way to keep the rest of us safe and secure. A community's quality of life is completely dependent on a sense of security. For that, I want to thank Sheriff Stan Smith, Captain Dan Hedge, Lieutenant Briddick for their excellent and exceptional leadership in this area. That's all. Our station here in Norco produces some of the best talent in the entire department. And I'm not just saying that because I wore green and tan. Art Mendez, who used to work here and got promoted, was named last year's Deputy of the Year by the Riverside County Sheriff's Department. I want to recognize the work of Sergeant Bill Davis and Deputies Daryl Robertson, Matt Butcher, I think he's back there, Carlos Garcia Villa, among others, for the work in foiling a potential mass shooting at the Norco College last month. We honor their efforts. We want to thank the fine men and women who deserve our thanks and praise, not to mention our commitment to give them the resources so they can operate at their full potential. The Sheriff's Department is here for you. And the CAL Fire, Riverside County Fire Department, is also here for you. They're right in the back. We are spending a fraction of what we use on CAL Fire as what we used to do on our own municipally operated fire department. And these guys are top-notch. They give us top-notch service. And CAL FIRE is a world-class organization which means the City of Norco has access to state-of-the-art resources like hazmat and air power. The department also has exceptional leadership worth recognizing, including Battalion Chief Scott Lane and Rich Owens. They are not here tonight because unfortunately things happen when you're in public safety, jobs you have to do. My hat's off to you, brothers, and wearing the blue from CAL FIRE. Their support of the Norco Animal Rescue Team and how much they have changed and gotten up and keep supporting us as a member all the time has been phenomenal. And again, that's visionary, and that's what's good about them. They are fantastic as far as that goes. And that's a service that we provide to communities, not only in Norco, but all in Riverside County. So we're proud of it, I'm proud of it, Buddy Ed sitting there, Berwin, and all the other members of the NARC, proud to be it. Damon Centers sang the national anthem, NARC member. Proud of it. We should never forget our beginnings. Since the day Rex Clark arrived in Norco, this has been a place where anybody with work ethic and a dream could succeed. That remains true today. As Norco draws new residents, escaping cookie-cutter subdivisions from Orange and Los Angeles counties, people who want to live in the American dream in an uncrowded community with award-winning schools and some elbow room. We like our half-acres. Norco is different from any other place in California, and we aim to keep it that way. I grew up, like I said, on Archibald Avenue over there with my parents. 11 brothers and sisters. My sister's sitting back there. And that's right. There was 12 of us in the family. And on a dairy farm, which is now Eastville. I graduated from Norco High in 1970. Back then, yeah, I'm a old guy. Back then, the median value of a home in the state of California was around $25,000. It's gone way up since then. This area has always felt special, and the leaders in Norco have been fighting hard to keep it that way. We are a city living in a rural atmosphere, and that's what we're going to do. Some projects on the horizon will help the local economy, and we will insist they be designed in a way that preserves our lifestyle. For example, a couple of new hotels, including the Holiday Inn Express and the Wood Springs Suites, have been approved and cleared for construction. The 100-acre egg ranch will be developed in the near future, and I'm pleased to see the developers are meeting with neighbors to get their input. We'll soon see that at council. The JD Ranch, where the Jalopy Dairy used to sit on River Road, near the corner of River Road and Bluff, will soon be developed into half-acre parcels and homes. The Norco College, and I saw the Norco College folks here, will continue to expand its programs and reputation. And you know the nice thing about it? They are very veteran-friendly, and they're very ambitious about making plans for veterans, which we dearly applaud. How do you help? One thing I learned from sitting on various commissions and boards over the years, and especially for these last few years on council, is that we all need to participate. And no, not just on social media. Without citizen engagement, that's just a bureaucratic term for getting involved. There is no hope. There are many examples of people in our community getting involved and making a huge difference. There are people like Linda and Ed Dixon, I'm looking right out in front of me. Damon Senate, Saul Coran, and probably Jim Holder, Bill Schwab, and a whole host of other NARC members. See Jack standing back there, and Helga, Hoffman. Hey, all members of the volunteer of the NARC team. We help rescue animals, hurt animals. We work during the floods or the fires. And then there's Helga, Hoffman out back there, volunteers at the animal control. Yes, I see you walking the dogs. There's Diane and Barbara Hill, who operate Seniors and Pets. If you want to have your breakfast on the second Saturday morning, they're there cooking up a breakfast for $3. You don't have to be old. You can sit right and play bingo. There's people like Jim Sasson, Diane Summers, Bonnie Slager, Bill Naylor, Pat Overstreet, Tony and Sunday Barretto, who spend hours making their community a better place by organizing events for the fair, Norco Horseman Association, the Norco Mountain Posse Rodeo, and the upcoming Horse Week. Ladies and gentlemen, give these people a hand. Other people get involved by serving on local boards and commissions, working with the Chamber of Commerce, that's on the chamber back here, being active in their local schools, or coaching youth sports. There is no shortage of opportunities to contribute in Norco, and we do it in record numbers. If you've ever attended the City Volunteer Appreciation Dinner in May, you know we are a true community of volunteers. And that's another thing that separates us from the rest of California. As residents, we get involved. We volunteer. We go to communities. You ask them, they don't have hardly any of the participation we do. We do. We're great. I mentioned earlier that this council will always have your back. We're here for you, but we're also listening to you. We're listening to hear you. Our new community outreach tour has given City Hall a presence at various community events, including the Farmers Market and the Norco Fair, as well as neighborhood parks. Staff and council plan on continuing this connection. This was a brainchild of Andy Coral and Cheryl and the staff of the city. This all came out of the survey that was done a couple of years ago. I hope you appreciate the hard work that they do. And they go out and they take that little pop-up and try to share with you what's going on in town. Okay, give them a round of applause. Democracy is not a spectator sport. That's an old cliche, but it's very true. And I got Diana laughing at me here as he teaches. We've been talking so much about voting recently that sometimes we forget there are many people in our community who are not registered to vote. Last count, we had a little over 11,000 registered voters in town. We used to have 12,000. What happened? Okay? Come on. A city of 25,000. We got a lot of adults. Get registered, vote. Get your people out there to vote. Get them registered. They don't show up at the polls, and that's what's important. But casting the ballot is only part of being involved. Call 5 of the city council members. Go to the town hall meetings. Go to the city council commission meetings. Have your voice heard. Yes, we do videotape the council meetings. This thing is being videotaped. I don't know what you're seeing when you're sitting back and watching it on your TV or your computer screen. I don't know what you want. Come to the council meetings. Tell us what you want. All of us council members want feedback. We got an election coming up in November. Guess what? You want to run for council? It's your opportunity. 2 seats. We're going to have another election in 2020. There's 3 more seats available. Your opportunity. You want to put in for a commission? Put in for commissions. Get involved. The only way you can overcome the bad policies that come out of Sacramento or Washington is to get active on a local level so we give these people feedback. Your vote counts. I'm proud of it. Today, if you saw the kids running around in black, where are my kids at? Coming here tonight is a great first step. I want to thank you for doing so. Recently, the execution of our community vision was the creation of the Youth Advisory Council. And I'm going to acknowledge these kids because they've worked hard. I'm inspired by the Youth Advisory Council members, some of whom are here tonight, and I would like to recognize them all. This is a brainchild of our Mayor Pro Tem, Robin Brennemeyer. She wanted to get kids involved. So, Michael Young, Jessica Ocampo, Clint Nichols, Anthony Garcia, Isabel Hendrickson, Alexis LaRue, Nicole Logan, Nora Nindra, I knew it was going to yes, this one, Alejandra Rosa, and Karen Castaneda. If you're here, there you are, hiding back there. They are under the direction of Diane Germain, who is actually doing a good job They're understanding the value of being engaged citizens, and we look forward to these young people assuming leadership positions as they grow older. They are our future, ladies and gentlemen. They are our future city commissioners, city council members, and school board members. And we're trying to get them involved. So hopefully it's working. Norco is known for its exceptional schools, and the Corona Norco Unified School District and continues winning academic awards as well as sports awards. And I can tell you firsthand how dedicated the teachers are, because our own Robin Grenmeyer demonstrates her commitment every day. And she doesn't teach us, but she does on the council. Families will pay a premium for real estate when local school districts such as ours and our schools are exceptional. And John, thank you from the school board. Our schools are exceptional here in town. As I said, I graduated in Norco High way back when, 1970, and share that Cougar pride with so many former students and parents. I'm also very proud that Norco High School celebrated its 50th anniversary, still turning out great students, great athletes, star teachers. They helped make Norco an all-American success story. I have one of them standing right in front of me, my former neighbor, Diane Study, history teacher. She loves her kids, takes them all over. We've always maintained a strong partnership with the youth in this area and the resources required to teach them, guide them, ensure that they are safe, and help them excel. We also need to find ways to encourage them to stay in town. God, why is he saying that? Or return to Norco after their education or early phases of their careers are completed. The city needs to make itself more attractive to young families, encourage them to put down roots. Otherwise, we will become a community of retirees, not a city of vision. In my sheriff's department career, I got to work the Sun City area. I don't want rock gardens, rock grass. I want that. I love bingo. I love bingo. But that's more than we do. Not only do we need these young families to stay, but we need to keep those young people from getting involved, to stay involved. So how can we sustain our sense of volunteerism and everything else we have here in Norco? Yes, our volunteer rates are dropped. It's kind of hard when most are 50 or 60 plus years old. Part of our mission should be to leave the next generation of Norconians the same special lifestyle that we enjoy today. So here's my challenge. How do you create a legacy? A legacy isn't me. A legacy isn't this place. I would like the parents in Norco, those who have the needs, to think about the best possible legacy for their children or their grandchildren. Leave a home in Norco for one of your loved ones. Or help your children get a home here in Norco. Yeah, it's expensive. Think about it. You've enjoyed this lifestyle. Your children are growing up here enjoying this lifestyle. Try to give them an opportunity to stay and enjoy what you get. It's the greatest gift you can give them. Because of tight resources, pressures from developers, some destructive policies from Sacramento, and the high cost of housing, ensuring that legacy will be very difficult. And I know that. But we have to face the challenges before, and we have succeeded in keeping Norco the place it is. So let me conclude, because I know I'm probably running over my hour. Let me emphasize that the state of the city is very strong as we gather here tonight. The economy is robust. Despite some impending challenges, our quality of life is fully preserved. District elections, if we ultimately need to convert to them, will not destroy this community. We won't let it. You as residents won't let it. But a lack of interest, well, we need to get you involved. Likewise, kicking the can down the road on infrastructure will not save money, but only harm the community if we really cherish what we have. We must act quickly to ensure that Norco lifestyle we love and live here will be here for our children and our grandchildren, who can continue our legacy and vision. Yep, some bills are coming due, and we need to pay them. Some difficulties lie ahead, and we must address them. But Norco will prevail, because that's what we are. By doing what Norco always does. And if I had Felipe here, Rob, what are we?
Norco!
We are! Norco! We are! Norco! So, that's my dream for building a vision. Thank you for the honor of addressing you this evening. Thank you very much.